Hey guys, welcome to Tuesday Night Live. Let me know if you can hear me and see me, okay? Thank you, Donna. I always wait to see who's going to be the first one to tell me that they can hear me and see me. Well, at least see my hands, right? Last week's paintings are up here. I am going to play around with the big one a little bit more on the centers, because I really don't like the white behind or the yellow behind it, so I'm probably going to just paint it gold and then go in and put some more gold dots, because this one with just the gold dots came out really cute. So I might embellish this one a little bit too before I do the giveaway. I am going to paint the sides black because I don't like the way it spilled over, because I have one side that's black, one side that's missing, and you know, I'm so picky. But these are last week's paintings, and I think they will be gorgeous when I get done playing with them. So, and tonight's giveaway is the oval that we did with Crescendo and Unicorn and Flamingo. So I do have to varnish this yet. It's going to get done this week. And then it will go out the door probably by Friday. So welcome to everybody. I saw so many names flying by that I would have to scroll back to get y'all. But you know who you are, and you know I love you, and I mean it. So tonight we are playing with some new product. And I'm sure you've probably seen some little bits and pieces of these on other channels. But these are the new stuck-up biggies. This one is called Hoity-Toity. I love the names. Hoity-Toity and Egotistical. So they shift so many colors, guys. They have a very wide spectrum of color on these. So this is Hoity-Toity. So you can see the dark turquoise, and as it turns it will go to purple and then a really light rose gold. You can barely see it, but it's there. But I love that dark turquoise. It's beautiful. So these are super pretty. The Egotistical, I'm always a blue purple kind of girl. So the Egotistical is beautiful, but it's not my favorite, you know, because I went with that one as my favorite. But this color, alright, so this one goes, you got your reds, your magentas, your orange, your gold, and then you get a green. It's hard to get the green with the light, but it just shifts so amazingly well. Super cool. So first thing I'm going to do tonight, I did mix these up as alcohol inks. So what I did was took a teaspoon of this and mixed it with about 1.5 ounces of 91% isopropyl alcohol. You can use 99 as well. Put my little BBs in my bottles. You just make sure you shake them really well before you use them so you get all the mica off the bottom. The Hoity-Toity is going to be fun to play with. I haven't done anything with this one yet, but I did do 1 cup earlier today. Let's see if it's dry enough for me to show you. So this is Egotistical. And I did the little saran wrap method. And we're going to do another one of these tonight. And we're going to do a dragon scale. Alright, so it's not quite dry all the way. Let me see if I can blow dry that. Let's see if that works. I need a dryer that has heat though, right? I just want to be able to set it down. That might be good enough for me to at least show you, because I can't spray it yet. I still have a few wet spots, but normally I would spray this with the Kmart matte. Krylon matte, sorry. Because you want to be super careful, because this will rub off. So you want to be super careful and make sure you get it sprayed so you lock it in. I probably will play with this a little bit here before I spray it. But that's the Egotistical. Super pretty. So we're going to do one with Hoity-Toity. I'm going to put it that way. See? Got to be super careful with those. Probably the best way to do that would be to put it on a stick so you don't have to touch it. Alright, I'm going to get some gloves on. So I have another wine cup prepped to do Hoity-Toity. I'm going to have too much fun saying that. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is move you up so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to pull out a nice sheet of cling wrap. I went and installed the one in the house today because I didn't want to pick up my big one. Okay, so this is our wine tumbler. These will get resined because that's the best way to seal in anything on your artwork. It's not like sublimating, which I have been doing, by the way. A lot of it. So I'm going to mix this up. I have 5 BBs in there to make sure all the mica comes off the bottom. Alright, I'll pull my little thing back. I do have the links for these bottles down below in the description, as well as the resin I'm using tonight. The release date for these SUPs is May 2nd at 5 p.m. Pacific. I checked with Lainey and Billy today. So I'm just scattering this on here. Now, because this is shorter this way, you want to make sure you get enough on this edge. Otherwise, you might have a blank spot on your cup. I like to pick my cups up and tuck it down inside because it will wipe out with alcohol. So I'm just going to place my cup there. And I'm just going to bring this up. I'm not going to like take my time. I'm going to do it fast because I don't want my color to run. And that's all there is to it. Tuck it in. Now, this is where you get to play. If you want some fun things in your cup, like the little crunchy looks, you're going to play with your plastic wrap. Now, if you see a spot that you missed, you can pull your plastic over and dab it there where you have some more alcohol ink. And if you don't have enough, you can take your alcohol ink. Do not put it on the cup. Put it on your plastic at the top. And then you can just go up and dab it a little bit. You don't want a lot. The point of this is just kind of an effect on your cup, not like the whole cup doing that. So then I like to roll it around a little bit just to get some more scrunchy looks in it. And let it dry. Overnight is best, because that one I did earlier. It wasn't dry enough. So I might wipe that off a little bit on the bottom and redo it, the other one. But that's the nice thing with alcohol ink. It's very forgiving. If you don't like it, you can wipe it away. That was a mouthful. Alright, so we'll let that set. We'll look at that next week. Maybe I can get the other one resined before next week, but I'm not promising. Because I'm going through major packing mode here. Alright, so we have a Michael's tumbler. I love buying the black cups because it's kind of a beautiful background for everything you want to do. So if you have questions, I'm only glancing over occasionally because this takes a while and I don't want to stop too much. Now, I need to find my curing light. There it is. So I just use a gel nail curing light for my stuff. You can buy the big flashlight or whatever, but that works fine. I have another one around here somewhere. I'm going to see if I can find it, see if it's bigger. I always make sure I have a backup. Pretty sure it's in one of my black cabinets. Okay. So in your water, I like to use warm water. You're going to add some Dawn dish soap. Works pretty good because it makes lots of bubbles. So I put about a tablespoon in there. I gotta grab a straw. A little unprepared, wasn't I? I wasn't thinking of all the little things I had to have. So I found how to take the ads off. So now, up on my screen pops, now would be a good time to insert ads. See? They probably did it to me. Cecilia, Alan hasn't had time to go to the post office yet. So I have to get that done this week. I'm sorry. He's been swamped at work with management meetings and all kinds of stuff. But I will definitely get that to you this week. Alright, so I am using Solarez UV resin. It's not cheap. UV resin's not cheap, but you don't need a lot. So we're going to be doing little sections at a time. I usually do, I think, 4 to get around the cup because you don't want to put it on all at one time. And then you don't need very much either. Probably about that much. So let's see how much we use out of this cup. Also, when you're working with UV resin, don't leave it out where your light will catch it or in the sun because it will cure it in your cup. And I had a couple of people ask me why their UV resin feels sticky. Because it's not cured enough. If you take it outside and sit it in the sun, it will cure. Sometimes I have to do that, where I set it in the sun for a few hours and it's fine after that. Hardens it right up. Okay, I want to make sure I don't have fuzzies. So after we get all the dragon scales on, then we'll go in and put the powder on. I gotta get that off my screen because it's annoying. Indiana has no sun, Darnell? You're lying, because I remember seeing your little art show in your yard and you had sunshine. So, shh, don't lie. Maybe you don't have sun this time of year, right? Resin cures in 30 minutes. I watched Jeff and Erica yesterday doing these trinket bowls with Alumilite 10-minute cure resin. So you got like 2 minutes working time. So they were pouring it in these molds. And it was like clear when, clear and gold when they put it in. And like within 30 seconds, the clear turned to white. And then the molds were so hot, they were like, ow, 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 trying to get these out that they were already cured. Of course, you could leave it in the mold and let it cool down. But they're making 90 of these, so it was so fun to watch them. I have yet to talk to her about it, but boy, that stuff was crazy. I couldn't get over how hard it cured. So, all right, let's get this on here. So I'm going to spread it pretty thin. I'm not going to do my bottom till last because it sometimes drips down there. But you definitely want to get your lip of the cup. And if you get it over, that's okay. You can scrape it with a little X-Acto knife and clean your cup with alcohol, because you're going to have to put 2 to 3 coats of resin over this to fill in the dragon scale. Alright. That looks pretty good. Okay, let me wipe my finger. We're going to get in there and get some bubbles on there. Going to move my cup. Put it behind my tumbler. I almost had that inclination to take a drink of this because of the straw. That'd be scary. So I'm getting my bubbles, placing them on my tumbler. Got too much water in my cup. Making a mess. Alright. So once you have all your bubbles on, we want to do a 90-second cure. And this is the boring part. Waiting for it to cure. I know, Shelly. Wouldn't be the first time I had soap in my mouth, right? They didn't have Dawn dish soap around when I was a little kid. So we got yucky stuff. It was either Joy or Lava or Safeguard or something like that. I'd have to ask my brothers because I think I only got soap once. You've never seen this done before, Betty? This is fun. And it's so easy to learn this. I wish there was a way that we could do this at the retreat, but I just can't take the chance with the resin. I don't want anything sticky. Palmolive, Maria. It's so gentle. You're soaking in it. Wasn't that what they said? I can't remember what it was about. You're soaking in it. Yeah, we do it with UV resin, Donna, because it's the only resin that cures fast enough to hold the bubbles. It's looking good. There we go. Yay. Let me blot it dry. And then you can see the dragon scales. Isn't that cool? These are so fun to do. Sometimes you get a funky little bubble in it, but you know what? It's art. It's not supposed to be perfect. Alright, so let's go to our next section. I am going to wipe the water off that drizzled. Sometimes you'll get a little bit of resin that will go down. It's not cured because I didn't have the light over that far, so I'm going to peel that off. Alright, Let's get our resin back out. We're doing good on the amount. We still have quite a bit left. So I might be able to tell you exactly how much I use when I get this done. Okay, so let's get this spread here to the left, because to the right we want to be careful we don't overlap too much, because then we'll have that big bump there. I like to turn my cup and go up too. Kind of wiggle it in. Get a little lip there, so I'm going to put some resin under that. And don't worry about your bottom. If it drips down, it's okay. It'll stay soft as long as you don't take your light down there. But you should still be able to remove it. Okay. So I'm just going to smooth that out, take it as far as I can. Looks like that's it. See if I can pop those little bubbles before I put the soap bubbles on. Okay. I'm going to dump some of this water out. Hold on. I'd say sippy sippy, but that wouldn't taste very good. Get our bubbles on. Some small ones there. That's what I was watching for. It's nice to have a mix of sizes. It makes it a little more unique. Instead of everything all big or all small. All small's fun. I love the way Shelly did her vase with the little small ones. Okay. Let's do our 90-second cure. Yeah, you can put your pigment in the UV resin, but see, this is why I'm doing it this way, because I don't want to waste, first of all, I don't want to waste the SUPs, they're very expensive, but you get better coverage for color if you put the pigment on after the bubbles. If you're doing this on a white tumbler, your bubbles are going to look kind of brownish, tannish brownish. It's a very ugly color, but the pigments will cover it. It does stink, so don't stand over it. Because it has to heat up to cure, so then it smells. Whew. I think it's finally done stinking. No, you don't put the mica powder in the bubbles. We haven't put any mica powder on this yet at all. We're going to do that after we're done with the bubbles. Stay tuned. I try to do everything step by step so you guys can come back and watch the video again and write everything down, and I try not to go too fast. There we go. There's our next set. I'm really loving the way these bubbles are going on here tonight. I like the little mix of big and small. Okay. See? This one's going to be a super pretty tumbler. And guess what? It'll probably be a giveaway. If not, it'll be a wine glass. I haven't decided yet. Okay, let me get my the stuff back out here. I'm just about halfway through this cup, so we might almost use the whole thing. But that gives you a nice example of how much resin to pull out of your bottle without wasting. And I'm not putting it on like super thick. So these bubbles are sharp, so that's why it's sticking to my towel. So when you go to resin this, after you get your first coat on, you're going to have to sand it a little bit, or you'll be putting on 4 coats of resin to get it smooth. So after I get this all done, I'll show you one that, I think I have one that has resin on it, so you can see what they look like when they're all resined. And I believe that will be in my auction if I still have it. Okay. We're going to have one small one after this one because I can already see where we're at. Okay, let me move my resin. Time to bubble up. Make sure you got everything covered with a bubble so you don't have any gaps. I mean, you can go back in and put more in if you have to, but you want to try to keep it as thin as possible. More bubbles. Oops. I gotta bring this a little bit closer to me. My cord's a little short. Yes, I am not doing another retreat after this year. It's just too much work, guys. And the prices of the houses have really jumped. I just don't feel comfortable charging more than what I'm charging right now. So, I mean, I can give you all of my knowledge while you're there. All you gotta do is ask. I have no problem working one-on-one with anybody. The past few years I taught classes. This year I'm not, because everybody that's coming kind of knows what they're doing. But if they need help, I'm more than happy to stand there and work with them. Show them how to mix, you know. Everybody mixes their own paints. They need me to check them, I check them. It's just so much fun. We have a blast. And we bounce ideas off of each other, and sometimes I'll go in if there's leftover paint and I'll just do a big one. I gotta remember to bring a big canvas this year. Yeah, you know, food costs, gas prices, U-Haul, it just all adds up. And they're just not cutting any breaks on the houses, unless you want to go like in October. But then you got to worry about hurricanes, and that cold air off the ocean is not nice. I like to go when we go because you get some beautifully warm days where you can actually get in the pool, sit by the ocean, walk in the ocean. The water's cold, but you can walk in it. Just have a good time with a bunch of people. Okay, one more spot and then we'll do our bottom. What are you talking about, Brian? You have no idea what you're doing. Do Do we need to have a pity party for Brian? Aww. Wait, Brian, here. It's my little violin. He's gonna get mad at me now. Alright, so we used about 3/4 of that little cupful. That's not bad. Because on the bottom it's just gonna be a dab. Because we do not drag and scale the bottom. We just put a little coat of UV resin on it so that we can put the powder on. So I'm going right up to the edges, just very thin, so we don't want that major ridge. Because if you get ridges, it will show up when you put your powder on. Okay, so I got a little extra there. I'm going to wipe it. Actually, I can put it on the bottom. Yeah, I'll wait because I want to pull that off of there. Just pulling it off a little bit. That's the nice thing about resin. You know when you have too much. Okay, last one. Everybody knows how to blow bubbles, right? So your smaller bubbles are going to be on the inside of your cup, where you can scoop and grab those smaller ones if you want differences in sizes. Or you can shake a container and make bubbles, but you're going to get more small ones by doing that. Which you might want all small ones. We love Brian. I have to be nice to Brian because he's going to be here for a couple of days before we go to the retreat. And he's going to have access to my studio. There will not be any paint splattering my walls, Brian. Just letting you know. Hi, Tammy. I have not, Joanne. There's just too many events going on that people are saving money for or going to, so they can't afford to do it all, you know? Some can, some can't. He's moving everything. You think you are, Brian. I have a lock, you know, I can just lock you out, so it's okay. Payback's not very nice, Brian. Brian's like my little brother. Like the one that you pick on. It's just so funny though, because like when we get to the beach, it's like him and I sitting out on the deck getting burnt first. We're like the first ones. Then we look to see who's going to peel first, huh, Bri? Hopefully this year we'll be smart enough to put sunscreen on. You don't think you're getting burnt, and then it's like, oh my goodness, look how red I am. And yeah, I was only out there 15 minutes and I was fried. Because I'm so fair-skinned anyway. Alright, so we have all of our gorgeous bubbles on the cup itself. So now I'm going to play around at the bottom a little bit. I got some goopy stuff here I want to peel off. Maybe. Let me grab my little knife. I want to be careful not to scratch my tumbler. That should take it off. Because this isn't hard cured, so I can get it off now. But you want your cup to set flat, you know what I mean? I don't want a wobbly tumbler. So I did have a little runoff, but not too bad. I mean, you could drag and scale the bottom if you want to, just you're going to have to do some sanding to get it level. Alright, I'm going to clean that off with alcohol, just to make sure I don't have soap there. And that will get the excess little pieces off too. All right. So I'm just gonna put, as soon as it's dry, it's almost dry. There it goes. Just a dab on my finger. This will give me something for the pigment to stick to, because it's not just a plain metal surface. This will have some tackiness to it, so the pigment will stick to it much better. Alright, but I am going to cure it 60 seconds, because that's not a thick amount with bubbles and all that stuff, so we can get away with 60. You could tape off the bottom, Joanne, if you don't want anything down there. I just, all the time when I see things that aren't finished underneath or on the bottom, or I always feel like they're made in China. I learned that from my ceramics guy, because I didn't paint the bottom. And he says, what is it, made in China? He was so mean. Okay, it's a little sticky. I'm going to give it just a little bit more. You know, when you're a kid and you're learning how to do ceramics, you don't understand what big people jokes mean. Now I do. But isn't it funny how I remembered that? He left an impression on me. Alright, I think that should be good. It's just a tad tacky, but that's okay. And I'm going to change my gloves because my fingers are very sticky. This stuff out of the way so I don't knock it over. And I need to find my pigment brush, because I have a favorite brush for doing pigments. Might be in this drawer. I bought some new ones. Eyeshadow brushes work the best. No, I didn't put it in there. No. Oh, there's one. I'll use this one instead. It's thicker. I'm not sure where I put those new ones I bought. Oh well. Not today's problem, I guess. It's all that stuff I ordered from Temu. Okay. Just for giggles, I'm going to take what's in the cap here. Just to see what we're looking at. Oops. I got hairs coming off my brush already. That's not good. We don't want those. It's probably because I cleaned it so roughly last time. Alright. Let me see if I got another brush. I don't want to chance it. You definitely want a fluffy brush. Alright, this one might work. It's small. It's small. Yeah, it's going to take forever. Alright, I'm going back to the big one. Once I get enough pigment on my brush, it shouldn't stick anyway. So when you're doing this, make sure you put a mask on. Doesn't have to be an N95 or anything, just so the mica doesn't go into your lungs. My cross breeze is going right now, so it's not coming near me. Isn't it funny how it's blue on the camera? It's purple for me. There's your purple, and I see orange. Alright, let's play. I know this stuff is expensive. So when you're selling your stuff, price it accordingly. You know, it depends how much of this you use. It goes a long way. You just got to keep working it. It's not like you just gob it on. Super pretty. Let me bring it down a little closer so you can see. Maybe we can catch some different colors by being closer. You might see some bubbles where it was still a little wet. Just dab them out. It's not going to hurt it any. But between the resin and the residue from the soap, that's what grabs your pigments. Boy, that's really wet, isn't it? It must have been the last section I did. Didn't have time to dry. So now if you would put this pigment in your UV resin, it wouldn't be this bold. I like it better when you put it on after. Because you could do like a line of this and then a line of another one and just make it a rainbowish type cup with all different kinds of color shifts. You don't have to do it all one color. But I'll tell you what, when this cup gets resined, and let's say you're using this outside, you will see every spectrum of the rainbow in this hoity-toity. The minute I saw it, I was, gotta have it. That's going to be my favorite, just like Crescendo and Flamingo and Unicorn. Now, I have not done a bubble dragon scale with those because those do color shift as well. I bet you those would be pretty too. I may have to try one. They're not quite chameleon as much as this is, but they do shift really well. And like I said, it doesn't matter what color tumbler you use if you're going to do this after you do your UV resin, because it's still going to show just the pigment. But black is definitely dramatic. It's a nice base to work with. So you know everything is full coverage. You don't have to do the whole tumbler either. You could leave some of this and go at an angle just to do something different. But it's not like you can tape off an edge. It's just too much structure for you to tape it off. Hi, Linda. No worries. You can always rewatch from the beginning. So I was having major problems this week with, well, last week. I couldn't export any videos off my laptop. So I went in and I upgraded to Windows 11, which took away video editor altogether. So then I had to go download the Photos Legacy app because I only do editing that way on my laptop. I'm old school. So I think the file that I was trying to export was corrupt. So I'm going to try it again. And that's that jewelry box video. I'm going to try it again. And if it doesn't work, then I'll know that it's that something in that video is corrupt. But it's so depressing when you're trying to do something and it's not working, and you know, it's just like, come on, just do one. Just give me one video. Okay, we're getting to the meeting spot here. And then we'll get to see it in all its glory. So I like to wait 72 hours to resin over UV resin. It's just me, because I'm going to spray this probably 2 times with a matte finish. I always use matte because I'm always afraid I'll get fish eyes with gloss. Okay. So I used about, maybe a little over half a teaspoon of pigment. Okay, I think we're good. Just getting all my edges. Tap my cup. My dogs are going to bark now because they're going to think somebody's knocking on the door. Okay. Bring you back up. And close up my pigment here because stuff's liquid gold. to me. Alright. Ooh, it's blue on the screen. It's purple in my hands. But you will transfer, so don't handle too much. That's a gorgeous cup. Love it. Look at all those colors. And I like how it's like shiny and matte in areas too. That's kind of neat. Beautiful. Love it. So when I spray it, I'll put my hand inside the cup. Spray it a couple times. Gorgeous. So let's see what our other cup's doing. Maybe I can take the plastic wrap off. It's been sitting a bit. As long as I don't touch it, I think we'll be okay. Still wet on the bottom. But, oh, you can't even see it. So we'll have to wait for next week for that one. I'm going to put it back in there. Bummer. Alright, so all we have left is our giveaway. So refresh your screens so you don't miss out on guessing numbers. So if you're new here, we do a giveaway every week of a tiny painting that went with a big one. That's why I'm saying we'll probably do a wine cup when we get to that spot. And you can only win once every 30 days. I am keeping a calendar with names on it. And let's see. I'm going to see if I can get that other tumbler out. I can't reach it. Oh, there it is. It's on the top shelf. So this is one that I did with, oh, I think it was Salty Mermaid from an Etsy shop that I buy chameleons from. So this one will be in the auction. This has a lot of shifting to it too, but you cannot catch it on the camera because I'm looking at it and it's purple. But this is what they look like resined. So they're not like perfectly smooth, but they're smooth. And then I put my little hand wash only sticker on the bottom. So, let me get this one up here. Let me get a number. I have a number. Just need a little alcohol to wipe my finger off. It's so sticky. Okay. You guys ready? Yeah, it looks green, but it's purple here. Alright, so winner pays their own shipping. This is very light, guys. It will probably ship pretty cheap. I'm hoping it'll be under a pound. And that way we can send it first class. But yeah, maybe I can get this one done and go out this week too. So I get both of them out in the same week. I just got a lot of work to do this week, so I want to do that auction Sunday at 7. So we'll see where we're at. Alright guys, on your mark, get set, go. Stop. I have a winner. I have a winner. Just going back to make sure nobody had it before this person. Nope, nobody had it before her. Miss Victoria. Number 7. Whoops. Number 7 it was. Yay, you finally won something, Vic. Woohoo! So that'll be going to her down in South Carolina. Alright guys, that's all I got for you tonight. I hope you enjoyed the show. Stop back next week. We'll get to see this. I may not get it resin, but if I do, we'll see it resined. And we'll see the inked tumbler. And I think I'm going to be changing this into a clock. So, I got to get that done this week. I have a lot of things that need some finish work done, so I want to see how much functional art I can get into the auction, because I know you guys like that stuff better than paintings. But I will have some paintings. Alright guys, thanks so much for joining me. Brian, you are live this Sunday, correct? And then it's either Shelly or Brian doing a premiere on Monday. So, Vic, did you get your channel up? If you guys get a chance, subscribe to Vic. We're working on getting videos up for her. She's been filming. She's a hoot. She's all natural. We'll see. We'll work at it, Vic. Shelly's got you. Alright guys, love y'all, and I'll see you next week. Bye now.